Tony D and Little Joan with your screenwriter's rant on Dear Santa, starring Jack Black as Satan, about a kid who accidentally goes to write Santa a letter but spells his name wrong and the letter gets to Satan. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 16, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. There's been a lot of conspiracy theories about Hollywood, the things they do. And I, many years ago, never believed any of them, thought they were all crazy. But when you see a movie like this, you gotta wonder, what was the thinking? Satan in this movie is the good buddy of this kid and shows him how to be a crazy cat and loosen up at Christmas. So, yeah. It's very strange. It's very strange. I get the joke. You know, the joke is he spelled Santa wrong. This is an old joke. But now, Jack Black is trying to corrupt a little boy. I mean, that's the whole movie. It's weird. Doesn't seem right. Seems very odd that Satan, while being portrayed bad, he's not really bad. He's just kind of roguish. You know? Just kind of roguish. This is a Christmas movie. I get it. It kind of takes place around Christmas, but November 25th on Paramount. But he's actually Satan. He's actually the devil. He's actually evil incarnate. It's like, whoa, we're gonna have a wacky time with the most evil incarnate. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. And it's a little boy. Yeah. The symbolism here is, I don't think it's doing you any good. Who's this movie for? I always ask that question. Who's this movie for? Well, if you're even mildly religious, this has got to be one of the most sacrilegious things for people who believe in Christmas. I'm uncomfortable with it, and I'm not even religious. I'm just like, oof. Is it funny? You know, if it was a comedy sketch and it was a few minutes long, joke is he spelled Santa wrong and Satan shows up and then the little boy defeats him. That could work. But Jack Black is clearly being portrayed here as a misunderstood figure who maybe is going to show the kids something. He's Satan. He's not there to show him something. He's there to do bad things. And you can water down the bad things and make it fun and wacky, but that really wouldn't make him Satan. It's like you're trying to it's literally like you're trying to repackage Christmas and Satan. Like, hey kids, you know, Santa's okay and all, but have you ever thought about Satan? That's kind of what this movie says to me. There is messaging in movies, and you could read it if you've seen it a long time. What are you doing, Jack? I mean, I'm sure when you were sitting around with your rich executive friends and they said, oh, we got this movie, it's called Dear Santa. This kid spells Santa wrong. He spells it Satan, you know, like how kids do. And then instead of Santa showing up at Christmas, Satan shows up and grants him wishes. Now that sounds hilarious. That's an idea that sounds hilarious. And for a comedy skit, I would say, sure. Like if this was on SNL, you know, if it was funny, you could do a 2 to 3 minute thing, be hilarious. The kid ends up in hell, or Jack Black ends up getting tricked and he's not, you know, whatever. You could end it in such a way that you don't have, to deal with the movie part of this. But it's clear to me, like, movies don't end that way. This movie isn't ending with this kid in hell. That would be a total downer of a movie. That's 90 minutes of your life, and then the kid ends up in hell. No, that's not going to work. For a comedy sketch, that would work. Like, the kid is actually so bad that he ends up in hell because he listened to Satan instead of Santa. But then they're kind of friends in hell, but he's kind of torturing him. Like, you could make that work in a Saturday Night Live sketch. Still not great optics. Still piss off a lot of religious people, probably. But there's a way you should sort of internally justify that in a quick sketch. And obviously, you could do a movie in which a kid tricks Satan and gets everything he wants for Christmas. That would be fun. But clearly, Jack Black is not going to end this movie. Damn you, Timmy! You've tricked me and you got all the free toys in the world, and now I have to go back to hell and suffer. That's not happening. That is absolutely 100%. I would bet everything I had that that's not the ending of this movie. So what's the plot? Well, the first act would be little Timmy there, whatever his name is, writes Santa. And it's Christmas time. It's coming up to Christmas time. He's writing Santa, spells Santa's name wrong, and Jack Black, as Satan, gets the letter. He says, oh, this will be fun. That's one of the lines. So far, so good. Goes up to Earth and out of hell. Says, I'm going to grant you 3 wishes. And then they have a bit of a banter. Oh, you're like a genie? Oh, they stole that from me. So now we're doing those kinds of bits. Not strong. Not strong, but maybe for kids. But again, it's Satan. I don't think Satan's for kids. Don't think Satan's for kids. But okay. You're going to soft pedal Satan to children. So then the kid is obviously too smart for that. And then Jack eventually explains, oh, no, you're going to get the wishes, but you'll lose your soul. At which point the kid, I think, is smart enough to go, oh, I don't want that, and then just... So again, Hollywood tackling a sort of religious-themed movie, and that's really... You can't get around that that's religious in its own way. It's spiritual at the very minimum. If you believe in a soul, you believe in something other than... just we're all science. I mean, obviously, if you're going to have Satan, you could have God. So Jack Black hangs around, keeps coming back, tempting him. Third act, honestly, I think the way it'll probably roll is Jack Black finally gets him to sell his soul, but he does it for a good reason. I don't know, to save his family or something. And then Jack Black has the contract, but he feels bad that he betrayed his friend. And so Satan decides, well, I'm not going to take his soul. And he rips up the contract. And they're still friends. But now Jack Black just hangs around like Beetlejuice. And gives him advice. And he continues to live his life slightly better because Satan was involved. And then Satan is still bad, but he's not a bad guy. Right? I think that's the only way you can end this. You weirdos in Hollywood. Jesus. What are you thinking? They're just completely unplugged. It's like the soul, religion, spiritualism. Like, again, I write the Pineys. There's a definite hell in the Pineys. The Pineys all go to church. There's hallowed ground and holy water and a few things. It doesn't get deep in the religious mode, but it's there. I mean, it's in it. There are churches and things. They're old. You got to have churches in history. It's reality. And it's like people in Hollywood are so disconnected from that reality They're just like, oh, it'll be fun, like Santa is just as fun as Satan. They're not IPs, you moron. They're more than just IPs. You can't, I mean, you can, but using these figures like you're using them, probably not a good idea. Now, South Park did it, but you watch the South Park one. Jesus is the good guy. Santa is the good guy. They get into a fight. But in the end, they are in character. This is not in character for Satan, I would say. Being nice is not really in character for Satan. But you watch South Park. I think their characterization is a lot better. This is just an excuse for Jack Black to... I mean, it would have been better if he was just, let's say, a ghost pirate, right? You could have done the same movie if he was a ghost pirate. Little Timmy there discovers a magical sword that he's been trapped in for 300 years. And Blackbeard, who again, wasn't a great guy, but he was human, becomes his friend and tells him how to talk to that girl, Timmy. She wants your scabbard. That would have been better, because then you wouldn't be touching a third rail of religion and spirituality in a way that kind of doesn't make sense. These are something you got to think about when you're writing these movies. Now, it's not a bad premise. You could make this work, right? Like, you could have a movie in which Timmy here accidentally writes Satan. Satan comes, and then him and his friends have to save Timmy's soul, because Satan is insisting that Timmy has, if Timmy gets what he wants, then he owns his soul. So and then Satan would be a bad guy. And then they spend the whole movie saving Timmy, and in the end they win, and Satan goes back to hell, and maybe next year they'll get him again, somehow. And then you could do Dear Santa 2, in which, Timmy writes a letter to Santa, this time using his computer, and then Satan does something from hell, like getting the cat to run across the keyboard and change it. And then it all happens again. But to do it this way, where Satan is this, he's not that bad. He's a funny little elf that appears to me, and we have a good time. He gets a little out of control. That's not really Satan. That's like a leprechaun or Beetlejuice. Let's read the write-up. Okay, I got to see the write-up on this. Oh, hot damn, I got to see the write-up on this. Dear Santa. There it is, Jack Black. Okay, so he's got a picture of Santa with a little devil thing in the background, and it says Jack Black is not Santa. Dear Santa, and it says to Satan. When a young boy mails his Christmas wish to Santa, with one crucial spelling error, a devilish Jack Black arrives to wreak havoc for the holidays. Director Bobby Farrelly, writers Ricky Blitt, Dan Ewan, and Peter it's Farley, sorry. So it took 3 guys to write this movie. 3 guys. I don't know why every director seems to get a writing credit, and I sort of get that, but that's probably the case. But yeah, it's again, screenwriters. Would I see this? No. Just a flat no. I'm too old for a movie like this. Mostly it's going to be aimed at kids. I find it odd and off-putting. Maybe it's because I find Jack Black now odd and off-putting. For comedian guy, he really, really should have stayed out of politics. With his image, he could have stayed above the fray. He could have said, listen, I don't get involved in politics. And then this movie would have hit a little different. But part of this movie, I mean, and again, it's aimed at kids, which is weird. So if it's aimed at kids, you want families to go see it. If half the families are religious or mildly religious, they might not be uncomfortable with this. So you're killing like half your audience. Why does Hollywood continue to make movies that kill half their audience right out the gate? Right out the gate. It's like you're trying to make these movies fail. I say this is probably an indirect result of the CCP infiltrating Hollywood and various corporate structures. And when they see a project like this, they push it ahead and they push other ones aside. And there's a lot of people in Hollywood just want to work, and costume designers and gaffers and stuff. They don't have any say in all this. They're just like, okay, we're doing Dear Santa. And to some extent, Jack Black. I mean, I'm sure he got a huge payday on this. He's the star. But yeah, it doesn't look unfunny. I mean, Jack Black could deliver the goods. Feels a little light though with just him grinding on this. I mean, they're trying to make it like back in the day. It would have been Robin Williams. But he matured as an artist. He got older and started doing different things. Jack Black is kind of doing the same shtick as School of Rock, Tenacious D. On top of the fact he's coming off of a really embarrassing endorsement of Joe Biden. Like an embarrassing one. It's not like, people could forgive it. No, he endorsed Biden and then immediately they dropped him. Like, he came out of nowhere, and again, he didn't have to do that. Jack Black was not it's not like George Clooney, where he was always in the mix and going to these dinners and fundraisers. Like, Jack Black could have quietly stayed out of all of it, mostly because he's a comedic actor. Like, what is his endorsement worth? Nothing. Nobody's going to listen to Jack Black endorsing a candidate. George Clooney at least has the illusion that he's kind of smart and handsome and successful, right? Jack Black doesn't have that. Jack Black's on TikTok and friggin' YouTube doing wacky videos, even now. He's in the Minecraft movie. This is not good, Hollywood. This is not... I mean, it's not the least funny thing I've ever seen, but it's not great. It's like... Back in the 80s, they used to make these ridiculous movies that I'd go, oh my God, these are terrible. Trying to think of the name of the one. There was one with like Martians kidnapped this kid's mother. I forget what it's called. Like the Martians kidnapped my mom or something. It just looks stupid as hell, But it was supposed to be fun and funny. It was just dumb. This feels like that kind of movie. So, yeah. No. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the green site, the orange site, and the black site for more spicier videos. I will be at the 13th Child Brewery on Saturday from 11 to 2 in Williamstown, New Jersey. And that's a big harvest festival. That's a really nice one. Plus, you can get beer. Then on Sunday, I'll be at the Tom's River Elks Lodge show in Tom's River, New Jersey from 10 to 4. And there'll be lots of comics there. And then, of course, the live stream at 7. Hope to see you there. We'll see you tomorrow.